Ever wondered why the biggest and most successful megachurches all look alike? Or why your local police precinct has that eerily familiar triangular shape? Chances are you've crossed paths with the Templars, though you probably didn't know it. After all, they're not the type to draw attention to themselves. The Templars are firm believers in getting things done and not making a fuss about it. That's not to say they don't make a big deal about anything they accomplish, however. Every single thing they do is meant to convince everyone else of their absolute necessity to society. So while the general public might not know they're being watched and protected, the Templars make damn sure they know all about it. The Templars are the staunch defenders of justice, law, and all that is righteous. That is what they tell themselves and the world. Other factions hide and keep themselves as secret as possible, but the Templars are prominent in society and see no reason to conceal their existence, only their methods. The Templars have their secrets, but are not so mysterious in how they function. Their beliefs are strict, their mindset is unchanging, and their authority is all-encompassing. But how did this secretive organization become so influential? Where did they come from and where are they going? Let's delve into the lore of the Templars and discover the truth behind the legend. Templars are born into their roles. They are not chosen, they are not invited, and they do not recruit. They are not given a choice whether or not they will join. No. Templars are fated to be Templars, and once they are old enough to understand that fate, they devote their lives to serving their cause. Now that may sound grim and dark, but Templars take great pride in their purpose. For them, it is an honor to be a Templar. And since they choose to stick to their path regardless of circumstance, they are exceptionally difficult to convert. Discussion of religious doctrine is kept within their own ranks, and Templars will not debate their ideals with outsiders unless they are trying to recruit them, which again, they aren't. All teachings and liturgies are shared among the members, but these lessons are never written down. It would be sacrilegious to put the words of a saint into a book for others to see. And besides, all Templars can memorize and recite everything they need to know. Thank you very much. So we know that they won't debate the merits of their beliefs and they won't write anything down. But how does one join the Templars? Well, it depends on what side of the law you're on, I suppose. If you happen to be a criminal, then it's simple. You get caught and brought to justice by the Templars. You either choose to join them or die. If you're a law-abiding citizen, then the Templars will watch you for years, observing your behavior and waiting to see if you stray from righteousness. They will intervene in small ways, testing your reaction to see if you align with their morals and values. It's quite rare for an average person to pass the Templar vetting process, but it is possible. These people are usually sent to Templar academies to receive special training in the ways of the Templars, learning everything from philosophy to fighting to magic. Even rarer is the instance where a Templar chooses to defect and leaves the organization of their own volition. More often than not, these people are granted asylum in the homes of sympathetic Templar families, but they are never allowed to speak of the Templars again. Rigid and militaristic, they see no reason to conceal their intention, and that is to save the world. The problems come when the world doesn't want or need saving, and the Templars never take no for an answer. The Templars claim the role of first faction in existence. Whether that is correct isn't a concern to them. They hail from ancient Babylon, long before the tower was even built. Their sibling faction, the Phoenicians, are nothing but a brute muscle and mercenary-minded ally of the past. Both factions were created through a partnership between two brothers, possibly the biblical Cain and Abel. At some point, there was a critical disagreement between the brothers. The tower fell, the brothers went their separate ways, and the Phoenicians and the Templars were no longer affiliated. What the dispute was about was never known. Rumors suggested a human woman was part of the conflict. Now, it would be easy to assume that the Templars have no female members because of this, but that's not entirely accurate. The issue is not with women in general, but with their potential for weakness. Templars will work alongside women and assign them to tasks where they can be beneficial, But no Templar woman is allowed to participate in the destruction of evil, nor are they allowed to hold any positions of importance within the Templar ranks. If a female Templar wishes to remain with the organization, she must prove herself time and time again to retain her position. Even then, it is never guaranteed. For the Templars, female Templars exist, but they are tolerated. Formidable but arrogant, the Templars looked with a critical eye for their next alliance. In ancient Egypt, they encountered a group known as the Illuminati. Power-hungry but intelligent, the Illuminati installed pharaohs, priests, and the right merchants to ensure the optimal progression of the civilization. The Templars lent their skills of military protection. If one of the chosen government officials failed to follow the rules or strayed from Templar law, the Illuminati eliminated the offender. As the Illuminati focused on the political and economic corners of society, Templars began to recognize that their strengths of persuasion and obtaining order were useful for controlling religions. In the name of faith, with the promise of salvation or the threat of damnation, humans would bend and bow to the specter of a greater power. To test this theory, the Templars incited unrest within the people as the pharaoh Akhenaten declared the priests unnecessary and erected a temple to the one true god of the sun. Faced with the loss of their gods and their way of life and protection, people raged against the godless pharaoh and his house. Akhenaten fell, the priests returned, and the temples reopened to worship the Egyptian pantheon. Whether or not the Illuminati were aware, the Templars had made it clear that the true power lay with their faction. Men wanted leadership, a vision, and religion to remind them of their mortality. Yet they wanted the promise of something greater. Once they believed, they would remain loyal and follow any and all of the proclaimed laws of their deity. Eventually, the Templars felt limited in Egypt and agreed to branch out north and west into the Mediterranean and Europe, with the Illuminati at their side. The partnership was still intact at this point, with each faction playing their proverbial role and the masses controlled and thriving. The Templars congratulated themselves for a job well done in the advancing society. While they excelled at following laws and rules to the very letter, the Templars were also unyielding in their stance concerning law, order, and punishment. This led to the fall of Rome, in accordance with the Illuminati's plan, and the birth of a new movement, Christianity. Templars are not against the use of magic, but they are extremely wary of its use. Templars believe that magic comes at a price, and they fear that its use will lead to the corruption of the soul. Magic is a tool to be used only when absolutely necessary, and only those who have shown unwavering loyalty to the Templar cause are permitted to learn and wield its power. Templar magic is a blend of various systems, drawing primarily from Hermeticism and ceremonial magic, but incorporating elements of other traditions as seen fit. Most Templar magic users are proficient in elemental magic, utilizing fire, water, earth, and air to augment their attacks and bolster their defenses. Additionally, many Templars train in combat magic, learning spells that can disrupt an enemy's concentration and bolster their own endurance and resistance to magic. The Templars are adamant about not repeating the mistakes of the past, and that means keeping knowledge of magic hidden from the world. Magic is a tool to be used.